Welcome everyone to Las Dos Amigas.
Hola todas.
Today we have a very special guest. He comes from the West and is known as the one and only Romeo Montague.
Afternoon, ladies.
So Romeo, how do you feel about the rivalry between the Capulets and the Montagues?
Well, see, it kind of frustrates me. It puts a strain on my relationship with Juliet. See, we are married in unison, and I cannot touch her or talk to her without getting in trouble. Do you understand how frustrating that is for a husband in love? Do you understand me?
Oh, Romeo, that must be really hard. How do you and Juliet make it work? Why is your relationship so good?
See, ladies, that is a great question. One word. Passion. If you don't have the love there, nothing will stay together. Thank you. Also, dedication. Dedication is what makes a relationship work. If you're not willing to try for that relationship, then it will go nowhere. As you can see in Juliet's and my relationship. Also, attraction. I'd say this is probably the most important to me because obviously Juliet is the most beautiful lady I've ever laid my eyes on in my life. And without her attraction, I don't think I'd like her. I mean, that might be a little rude of me to say, but it's true.
Romeo, it is wonderful having you here. Thank you for spending your time with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Romeo!
Thank you.
Teenage relationships.
Oh my god. So Johnny texted Clara, and Clara texted me and she told me that Johnny's breaking up with me. But he won't even tell me. He wouldn't even do it in person. He wouldn't even do it in person. I love him. We've been dating for 3 days.
And now we have the wonderful, the beautiful, the fabulous Juliet Capulet.
So Juliet, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How about you?
I am fantastic. We don't care about how she feels.
Okay, I see.
So, Juliet, I hear you have, like, the hots for Romeo. Are you guys, like, married or something?
Well, we're pretty exclusive. We've been married for 3 hours so far.
Do you get out much? How often do you see Romeo?
Well, I'm pretty much locked up in my room, but he may or may not sneak in sometimes.
Ooh, good stuff, girls. So, like, where did you meet? When did you meet? Was it love at first sight? Did you touch palms?
No more questions, please.
Okay, but I do have one more question. What makes a good relationship to you?
Well, loyalty, because I was loyal to him even though he stabbed my cousin. Attraction, because if you're not attracted to the person, then how can you be with them? And love, because our love is everlasting.
Well, Juliet, it was wonderful having you here. Thank you for your time. I hope you can come again. I hope things work out with Romeo. Juliet, ladies and gentlemen. Juliet. Kid relationships.
Hi. My name's Sarah. Want to borrow my crayons? I mean, again, if you want. I have a bunch of colors and varieties. We can color our coloring books together. It'll be lots of fun, and then we can go to the park and swing and hold hands. We can hold hands.
Passion makes a good relationship because you should want to feel like you want to be with that person. There should be a strong desire. Communication, because an open relationship is really important. Being able to be yourself around the other person is key. Communication is key. And lastly, trust. Trust because with communication comes trust. You have to be able to trust that person that has your back and that they'll be with you no matter what.
I think what makes a good relationship is communication, loyalty, and love. Communication, because you have to be open and be able to tell each other everything. Loyalty, because you have to be with the other person and just them. And love, because you have to have feelings towards the other person.
What I think makes a good relationship is trust, being yourself, and faithful. Trust because without trust, your whole relationship would be based on lies. Being your true self, because why would you want to be someone you're not around the person you like? And last, faithful, because if you're faithful, you really care for the person and you really want to be with
I
them.
think what makes a good relationship is commitment, respect, and communication. If you have commitment, then you're going to stick with the person. You're not going to try to leave them. If you respect the person, then you respect their feelings and their values, and you're not going to try to change them. And if you have communication, then you have things, you can talk about things with each other, and you can trust each other in that way. And you can, if you ever get in a fight, you can talk things through.
So Cody, what do you think makes a good relationship?
I think a really good key item would be communication. I think that would be the most fundamental thing for a good relationship.
Jesse, what do you think makes a good relationship?
Loyalty and trust.
Good communication.
Passion.
Common interest, because if you don't have common interest, then you have nothing to talk about.
Love.
Go.
Brooke, Megan's having relationship issues. What do you think makes a good relationship?
A good relationship is something that two people can relate to and share common interests and have fun together without being bored.
Is there any? She's really struggling with her boyfriend.
Ross Vanderpog.
Well, what are some of Ross's interests?
He plays tennis.
Do you play tennis?
I do.
Well, have you tried playing tennis together?
No.
Well, there's a date idea.
Why else are you struggling with Ross, Megan? He's twice my age.
Your parents object.
Yes.
Do you still want the relationship to continue?
Yes.
Well, I would try talking it out with your parents with Ross being in the crew. Show them how much of a gentleman he is, and then continue on.
Thank you.
So Shakespeare, what do you think makes a good relationship?
Well, I wrote a play called Romeo and Juliet, and personally I think what makes a good relationship is love at first sight, because in my fabulous play, Romeo sees Juliet of all ladies at a party and lays his eyes on her and thinks, man, I have never seen anyone more beautiful in my life. I love her. And Juliet connects with Romeo, and she sees him and she just instantly falls in love. And from that moment on, they decide they want to be with each other forever and get married. And I also think dedication makes a really good relationship, because after they got married and Romeo killed Juliet's cousin, even though Juliet was upset that her cousin was dead, even though I'm pretty sure anyone would be, she still wanted to be with Romeo. So she just loved him that because he was her husband, she wanted to continue to be with him even after a family death.
Why did you write this play?
I wrote this play because I've never experienced love, and I would like other people to know that love at first sight is a wonderful thing, and that love is just a beautiful thing in general. You should find that one person that you really connect with, that you have common interests with, and that you really feel passionate about, and then you should want to be with them for the rest of your life, and you should work your hardest to make that relationship work.
Wow. Well, thank you, Shakespeare.
Relationships back in Shakespeare's time.
Oh my god, my dad totes got me married, and like I don't even know who he is. But that's okay, because we're gonna live happily ever after, and we'll touch palms a lot.
So Romeo, how do you feel about the rivalry between the Capulets and the Montagues?
Well, see, ladies, I think it really stray. What am I talking about?
Wow, that must be really hard, Romeo. How do you make it work? How is your relationship? Wow, Romeo, it's great having you here. Thanks for being with us.